praises to the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. It's your brother Yashar coming at you with the young prophet Enoch again. And so we got a little class, or a little, not really class, but just a little topic called dragons that we're going to go over. All right. Basically breaking down the definition, not the definition, but the metaphor of dragons, right? And what it really represents. I did a class called Revelation 17, talking about the dragons. So in case somebody wants to go back over there and see it, reference that and see what we're talking about here. But again, it's going to be real quick, just talking about the dragons and what it represents. All right. So we're going to start off with the book of Daniel. So let's go ahead and go to the book of Daniel, and we're going to start at Daniel chapter 7 and starting at verse 2.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
Read on.
And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
So this is four beasts that came up from the sea, and all these beasts, these four beasts, are different from each other. Go ahead.
The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings.
So the first one is a lion, and it has wings. Go ahead.
I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
So this lion had wings and stood up on its feet. Go ahead.
And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear.
So then there was another beast that was likened to a bear. Read on.
And it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh.
So this bear had three ribs in its teeth. Those three ribs represent nations that it conquered prior to his coming up. Go ahead.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. The beast had also four heads, and dominion was given to it.
So this beast, which was like a leopard, had four wings on it and four heads. All right, read on.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
So this fourth beast, if you notice, this fourth beast is not described to be like any other animal. It's not mentioned, but we're gonna find out why. So let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 11 and verse 39.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 39. Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
So this beast was given the ability to rule and reign in the Most High's world, right? In this world, it was gave the permission to rule. And now, mind you, look what it says, that the end of their times might come through them. So this beast is gonna be the end, right? So let's go to 2nd Esdras 6 and 9 just to see who this beast is. Go ahead.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
For who is the end of the world?
For Esau is the end of the world.
Read on.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So Esau is the end of the world. And when we look at 2nd Esdras 11 and 39, it talks about that the end of their times might come through them. So the end is going to come through Esau. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 11 and 40, just to finish that out.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11, verse 40. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
So this fourth beast is gonna be the last rulership, and is gonna rule with much oppression. So when we look at the ruling class today, who is that rules with much oppression, right? Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 11.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 12, verse 11. The eagles you saw rising from the sea.
The who?
The eagle.
The eagle. So this fourth beast is the eagle. Go ahead.
The eagle you saw rising from the sea represents the fourth kingdom in the vision seen by your brother Daniel. Verse 12. But he was not given the interpretation which I am now giving you, or have already given you.
So Ezra was given the interpretation of who that fourth beast is which is a freaking eagle. So go ahead, read on. Let's go to Daniel 7 and 17.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth.
So the four beasts represent people. They represent kings, they represent kingdoms, and they represent nations. This is what the dragons and everything in the Bible represent. Kingdoms, nations, and people. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3:18.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 18. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
That they what?
That they themselves are beasts.
So men are considered beasts. All right. Let's go to Revelations 12 and 1.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
So this woman is a representation of Israel, right? And the crown upon her head with 12 stars represents the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Read on. Let's go to verse 3. Read verse 3.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
So now, if you went to if you looked at the video I did, Revelation 17, you would see who this beast is or who this dragon is, right? And we know that according to Daniel, 2nd Esdras, these beasts represent people. They represent nations, kingdoms, right, on this earth. So let's go to additions to Esther, chapter 11 and verse 5.
This is the additions to Esther, chapter 11, verse 5.
And 6.
Behold, a noise of tumult with thunder and earthquakes and uproar in the land.
Read on.
Additions, per verse 6. And behold, 2 great dragons came forth ready to fight.
So you see, in additions to Esther, this is Mordecai speaking, and Mordecai is talking about how 2 dragons came forth ready to fight, right? Read on to, let's go to additions to Esther, chapter 10 and verse 7.
This is chapter 10, verse 7. And the 2 dragons are I and Ammon.
So Mordecai is calling himself a dragon, and Ammon, the other dragon. And Ammon, if you look at the regular book of Esther, Ammon is actually Haman, right? Haman, but in Greek they dropped the H. So this is the same person in Esther. It's just, without the H. But Mordecai and Haman are being referred to in Mordecai's dream as dragons. All right? They're being referred to as dragons. So let's go to Revelations 12 and 7.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
Against who?
The dragon.
The dragon. Read on.
And the dragon fought and his angels.
So the dragon and his angels fought Michael and their angels. This is nations going to war. I'm gonna prove it to you. Go to let's go to Revelation. Let's go to the next verse 8.
And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
So this heaven is representing a kingdom. That's all it's doing. It's not representing where God dwells. This is representing a kingdom. And these people who are in rulership now, they won't be ruling anymore. They'll be kicked out the kingdom, and a new people would take the kingdom. That's why when you read in Daniel 7, it talks about, and the saints shall take the kingdom. Meaning they're gonna overthrow the current kingdom, the current heaven, right? Let's go back to additions to Esther, and let's start at chapter 11 and verse 7.
This is the additions to Esther, chapter 11, verse 7. And at their cry, all nations were prepared to battle.
So wait, all nations were prepared to battle. So this is you see how this is talking about nations going to war. So when Michael and his angels fought the dragon and the dragon's angels. Those are nations going to war. That's what it is. It's Israel against the other nations. And I'm gonna prove it to you. But read on.
that they might fight against the righteous people.
That they might fight against the righteous people. The righteous people are the Israelites because they're the ones that keep the law and were given the law. Read on.
And lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction and great uproar upon the earth.
That means the war, the earth is gonna be at war, right? But let me show you that when it says the righteous people, this is not talking about anybody who thinks they're righteous. This is Israel. Let's go to Jeremiah 46 and 28.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 46, verse 28. Fear thou not, O Jacob my servant, saith the Lord, for I am with thee. For I will make a full end of all the nations whither I have driven thee.
So he's going to make a full end of all the nations wherever he have driven the children of Israel. Wherever the children of Israel went, that nation will no longer be, right? It's going to be done away with. And remember, Esau is ruling with great oppression. So Esau is not going to be anymore. We even went through that through 2nd Esdras 6 and 9, where Esau is the end. That's it. Go ahead, read on.
But I will not make a full end of thee.
But I will not make a full end of thee. Read on.
But correct thee in measure. Yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished.
Of course, because Israel is definitely going to get punished for their sins, but the other nations are going to be no more. Let's go back to Additions to Esther and let's get chapter 11, verse 10.
This is the book of Additions to Esther, chapter 11, verse 10. Then they cried unto God, and upon their cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water.
So the reason why I'm bringing y'all here is because I want y'all to see how a little fountain made a great flood, even much water. This is all a metaphor about something, right? This is all a metaphor. So let's go to Additions to Esther, chapter 10, and start at verse 6.
This is the Additions to Esther, chapter 10, verse 6. A little fountain became a river, and there was a light, and the sun, and much water. This river is Esther, who the king married and made queen.
So you see how the metaphor of a little fountain made a great flood, even much water, is a representation of Esther and what the works that she's done, that she had done, right? So when you see water, flood, river in the scriptures, this is a representation of something. Now, we're not going to fully go into the river and the water, but I just want to bring out, because what I want to do is, this is all in reference to Purim. So Purim is coming up. So I'm going to save this topic about river and flood and water for the Purim class that I'm going to do. But I just want to touch on the flood real quick. So let's go to Isaiah 59 and 19.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood.
Like a what?
Like a flood.
So the enemy is going to come in like a flood. So again, here goes the metaphor, the example of the flood. Read on.
The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
So the Lord is going to protect us against the enemy's flood, right? Let's go to Revelations 12 and 15.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman,
Read on.
that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
So think about this. A serpent is casting out of his mouth water as a flood. Remember the water. The water represents something. The flood represents something as well. That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Right? Now, what's crazy is that a dragon, we all know a dragon to spit fire out of his mouth, never water. So this is obviously a metaphor for something. And what this is the water and the flood. This is doctrine. This is philosophy that you're going to be getting hit with to destroy you. If you look at philosophy and doctrine that our people have been lied to with is Christianity, white Jesus, God loves everybody, right? This is all doctrine that to destroy us, from keeping the commandments to even knowing and caring of who we are, right? This is all destruction to our people. this water, this doctrine. Let's go to Revelations 12 and 16.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
See, the dragon cast out the flood out of its mouth. Not fire, but rather water. This is doctrine. This is going into, I'll show you. Let me just read something real quick about wind. Now, you may be like, what the hell does this have to do with it? But watch. So it says, wind causes waves during storms through friction and energy transfer, where intense, sustained, or high-speed winds, speed, duration, and fetch, push against the water's surface. This interaction creates surface waves that grow larger as wind speed increases. In severe storms, these combined with low pressure create massive storm surges. That's flood. So a wind pushes the water and creates the flood. Remember, it's coming out of the dragon's mouth. It's being pushed. So there's a doctrine that's being pushed upon the people to destroy them, which is Christianity. All right. Let me show you about the wind in the scripture. Let's go to Ephesians 4:14.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Every what?
Every wind of doctrine.
Right, because that's what's being pushed out of the dragon's mouth. That wind to push the water and the flood, which is the doctrine and understanding of things. False philosophy, right? Read on.
By the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to deceive you. That doctrine and those that understanding is all about deception. Now, I want to read one more verse, and I just want to show you that because this is kind of a segue into my Purim video that I'm gonna bring out. So read Additions to Esther 1 and 10, which is probably, to be honest with you, I believe that this is 10 and 10. But go ahead, read it.
This is the Additions to Esther, chapter 1, verse 10.
Which is, I think, 10 and 10. Because in the Apocrypha is labeled different. Go ahead.
Therefore hath he made 2 lots, one for the people of God and another for all the Gentiles.
So you see that? The people of God and all the Gentiles. There's a division, and God is doing this. God created 2 lots, one for the Gentiles, one for the children of Israel. And with that, I'm going to say stay tuned and wait for our class of Purim, all right? All praises to the Most High. Shalom.
Illinois.